So you're getting ready to leave your boat on the hard for a number of months? What exactly do you do to prepare for that? Hi, I'm Nika Waters, and welcome to the Boat Galley podcast. I'm sharing the three major topics that we think about as we get ready to leave our boats on the hard for the summer. Today's episode of the Boat Galley podcast is brought to you by Teak Guard. Looking to refinish your boat's teak with a minimum of mess and fuss? Look no further. Teak Guard's non-toxic, water-based formulas for cleaning and finish will turn your teak from dingy to sparkling in no time. Carolyn used this to great effect on Barefoot Gal. Use coupon code BG20 for 15% off your order of $50 or more. Visit allguardproducts.com and admire your teak with less maintenance. We are about to leave both boats on the hard for the next few months. And though it's a process we've done a few times before, what's different about this time is that we're actually also preparing Mischief to be left for a couple of years. We will be back to address any outstanding items in the fall before we head off, but we just got back from a winter in the Bahamas on her. So the things that we needed to do to get her ready to leave are maybe some things that you might want to think about also. There are some obvious steps to take, and some others that might be less obvious. The other thing that you might want to know about is that we are in the Chesapeake, where it gets pretty hot and humid, but not anything like what it is further south or in the tropics. And we are also prepping Mischief for possible freezes because she's going to be out during the wintertime. And I'm sure that we've overlooked some steps. If you hear glaring omissions or think of things that you know you like to do, please send us a note and let me know. But this list that I'm talking about today is really for Mischief primarily. We'll be back cruising on Calypso relatively soon. But basically, in a nutshell, we are trying to make sure that this boat that was a rescue, had been largely abandoned for over a decade, and we've worked really hard the last year to get her into really good, at least reasonably good cruising condition. And we want to make sure that we don't lose any ground. There are three main steps and three main things to think about. Step one is to remove / empty / turn off things. Step two is to clean. And then step three is to stabilize and protect. Some of these are things that you would do maybe normally as you're getting ready to pull out of the water. Some of these are things that might be a part of your everyday, every week sort of routine. But these are things that we specifically did to prepare these boats for storage. In the remove, empty, turn off list, we pulled all the sails off, removed all the food, removed all the clothing. We removed all the items that we borrowed from Calypso. No, they're not parts boats, but we did borrow some of the things like the water maker and the single sideband. We borrowed those from Calypso for Mischief's winter in the Bahamas. We wanted to remove all those. Remove the Dodger and Bimini. Remove the jerry cans. Remove any loose items on deck. Empty all the water tanks. Empty all the lockers to evaluate what stays and what goes, what needed to go back to Calypso, what needs to go in the dumpster. Remove the solar panels, remove the electronics, turn off the propane at the tank. The next step is to clean everything. And we clean after we remove, empty, turn off, because then we have access to all the lockers. Clean the interior thoroughly, including wiping down the surfaces with concrobium or a white vinegar mixed with water to help prevent mold. Vacuum all surfaces, including the bilges. So we vacuumed all the cushions, we vacuumed underneath all the cushions, we vacuumed all the walls and all the floors and all the bilges. All of it got vacuumed. Step three is to stabilize and protect the boat. Stabilize the exterior wood by sealing it. Stabilize the hull and the gel coat by cleaning and waxing it. Protect the batteries, which on Mischief are AGMs, by leaving them on trickle charge. The boatyard where we are now allows us to leave the boats plugged in, so we have a trickle charge just going on those batteries. Protect the interior from heat and mold and mildew. We have installed Reflectix in the hatches and portholes. Reflectix is that shiny material that you'll sometimes see people put on their windshields to help keep the sun out of the car, to help keep it be a little bit cooler. And we've cut that and installed it inside the hatches and portholes. We have installed a dehumidifier that drains into the sink, and it's on a timer. We are also protecting the interior from mold and mildew by leaving out damp rid tubs. These are tubs of kind of desiccant material that just absorb any moisture. So we're hoping that between the Reflectix and the dehumidifier and the damp rid, we will have kept a lot of mold from having a chance to grow. We are protecting the engine and plumbing from freeze damage, which I know isn't part of the summertime, but it is what we're dealing with for wintertime storage by winterizing it. So we've run antifreeze through the plumbing and the engine. Protecting the cushions from water intrusion, any possible leaks that we are unaware of or that develop, by wrapping them in garbage bags, those great big lawn and leaf bags. And hopefully the step is totally unnecessary, but we'd rather be a little safe than sorry. We are protecting the boat from critter intrusion by closing most through hulls, leaving ant traps and roach traps out. We haven't had an issue with ants and roaches, but again, this is a little bit of this preventative maintenance that we're hoping to do. Protect the boat from water and sun damage by leaving the custom canvas cover installed. One of the saddest things that we found with Mischief when we went through the boat shed that the people had at the base of their dock was we found a beautiful custom canvas cover that they had never put on the boat. And so much of the destruction of the wood, both interior and exterior, and the damage that had been done to the boat could have been largely mitigated or avoided. We're hoping not to do that. And then eventually, as in before the end of the summer, when we come back from Vermont, we will actually get the boat shrink wrapped. It's not the easiest decision to make because there's a lot of plastic that goes into that shrink wrap and it really can't be reused. But given that we're going to be gone for 2 or 3 years, we think this is actually a good way to help keep the boat from deteriorating. We will stow items like sails, cushions, canvas inside the boat because that's a good place to leave it. We also would like to make sure that when we come back to the boat, we can do the couple of things that we need to and take her sailing right away as much as we can. So that's what our thinking is. So really there are 3 main topics or areas or focuses, and one is to remove empty, turn off things that could possibly go bad or cause a problem. We want to clean everything before we leave the boat, and we're stabilizing and protecting the boat with all the things that we're doing. We're hopeful that by doing all this stuff to the boats before we leave for the summer, they'll be in great shape when we return, and we can just do the few last things and go sailing. I can't wait to share an anchorage with you when the storage that we've done has left us able to go sailing quickly, and we get to toast to this incredible lifestyle that we have the incredible good fortune to be able to live. Thank you so much for listening to the Boat Galley podcast. We love hearing from our listeners. We love it when you share us with your friends. Hopefully this has helped you maybe think about things that you might want to do before you leave your boat to go away for a while. The Boat Galley is all about making boat life better. And sometimes that's leaving it stored for a little while you go do some other things that life has for you. Have the most spectacular week.